Way too early. Just who was that by a row? Show me your hand. Thank you. Let's have a look. Was that you, Pete? It was, wasn't it? Pete, the only man in the room smaller than me says stand up. Unbelievable, Mr. Davis.
It wasn't me.
Wasn't it? Wasn't there? Was it him, Pete?
Yeah,
He just dropped you. Right. Hang on, is that music still playing, isn't it? Yeah, just chat amongst yourselves a little whilst I turn that music off. You can talk about anything you want, just make it up. That shouldn't be going. Right, that's off now. Right, should we start again? Because that was totally unprofessional. Deja vu. Just somebody, do you want to give her a hand with her coat? Bless it. Just three able-bodied people sat there, and one old lady struggling with a polar bear on her back, which is. It is cold, isn't it? Are you warm enough? You are. Good. That's brilliant. So welcome to Blaisdon Village Hall, and thanks ever so much for coming out tonight. And just give a round of applause to the guys who put this on tonight. I think So who didn't come to the last gig? Just a show of hands. Okay, so it's about right. Okay, so what we did, we might as well start with you, because I know probably most people in the village know you, but what we did at the last gig, everybody, and it took us a while, but everybody just stood up, introduced themselves to the group. What's that? Is that a universal sign for there's no chance of that happening? Everybody knows you anyway, don't they? And probably everybody. Is everybody from Blaisdon? Is that?
Yeah.
No. You're not on it, man. You're from Gloucester. Well, what are you doing last time? No. You're from Gloucester. So that's me and you from Gloucester. Have we got anybody else in from Gloucester?
What time's yours? Richard.
What time's there? I know. Whereabouts in Gloucester are you from? Tough. Oh, I'm from Quincy, so I'm not.
Well, we're nowhere near.
We are quite close. We are quite close. So listen, if you didn't come to this gig before, we had a really great night the last time we did it, and you've not got one, you've not got two, you've not even got three, you've got four fantastic acts tonight. So that's really good value for money. That works about what? £2.50 each, is it? Something like that. And if you didn't come last time, just so you know, the format of the evening is we'll have your first act on, then we'll have a break, then we'll have two middle acts, and then a break, and then we'll have your final act, and then you can go off and do whatever it is you do in Blaisdon on a Friday night, which is questionable, which is very questionable. Whilst the acts are on, the bar will be closed, but we'll give you plenty of time in the intervals to get a drink, and toilets are out the back, and I think that's about it really. If anyone does feel like heckling or joining in, don't. No, you can, but just remember these guys do this for a living, so we are likely to make me look even smaller than me and Pete Davis. So at the last gig, your administrators of your Facebook page stupidly allowed me access to it, and it was great because there was so much shit on there. But since the last gig, I think some of you have got wise to that, and there's not been so much written. However, that said, I have found a few bits and pieces that I would like to share with you this evening. And I know at the last gig I didn't know much about him, and I did take the mickey out of him a little bit. And I know he's not here tonight, well I don't think he is, Anthony Braden. But Anthony's been, he's been quite vocal. He wrote, this was a couple of days ago, Not something for the weekend, but an udder thing. Today I'm in transit from Stockholm, Sweden to Stud Farm in Blaisdon, arriving in time to letting the chickens out, feeding the pigs and milking the cows. And then he put all in a dream, of course. Is he? I mean, is he a real person? And then he said, during the years 1955 to 1960, I started at 6 o'clock in the morning. From age 15 to 20, I washed the udders of a Silesian Frisian herd of 14 milking cows. Few can claim to have fondled and squeezed 160 tits before breakfast. Well, he's just... What is he on, bless him? And then a couple of days later, Callum Spencer, do we know?
Yeah.
Do we know Callum?
Yeah.
Is Callum in tonight?
No.
So Callum put, hello, does anyone local have any festoon lights we could rent or borrow for a small family party? Ours aren't bright enough. And I thought, does it mean his family? The thing that really caught my eye, this was going back to October, this was the Flaxey Schoolroom Harvest Supper on the 7th of October. A 2-course supper, bring your own beer, £10 per person. We have a talk from Westbury-on-Severn YFC about their charity cycle trip from Land's End to John O'Groats, and I thought, well, that looks quite interesting. And then a couple of days later, somebody called Manda Arachnid. Is that a real... that can't be. This is on the Blaisdon hub. Yeah, she put, very sorry, this event is now not happening. We have lost our speaker for the night. And I thought, they were meant to be doing a charity cycle from Land's End to John O'Groats. And you've lost them, and all they got to do is get from Blaisdon to bloody Flaxey. But the thing that I think sparked quite a lot of, interest in the village was Sarah Watkins. Is Sarah in? No. Does Sarah exist?
Yeah.
She does. So Sarah put, be aware when driving down Blaisdon Lane. A young lad in a brand new looking red tractor has been racing around the lanes at a dangerous speed and nearly killed me, along with a man in a milk van and the couple from the nurseries. He was driving really aggressively. Picture below shows the skid marks he left after. And she actually put a picture up. So Harley Phelps. And I know he's not in tonight. Harley replied, to be fair, it's the gravel's fault and not the driver. And to be fair, you do come across as a drama queen. So Sarah Watkins replied, Harley Phelps, maybe it was a drink driver. There's a few about, according to their family. Interesting who sends you private messages when something like this happens. Who knew Blaisdon had so much scandal? Hartley replied, Sarah Watkins, I'm not important, so I have to come up with some drama to make my life seem important. Hopefully one day you will find someone that loves you. Sarah couldn't leave it at that. Harley Phelps, have I hit a nerve? I'm sorry your life is so sad you have to troll people online. The messages in my inbox say you are known for it. What a sad figure you are. As I said, it was a young man on a red tractor, a new looking tractor. And I looked at Harley Phelps' Facebook profile at that time. And he was sat there on a brand new fucking red tractor. Bless him. So what can I tell you? I thought I better explain my dress code tonight. Dressed all in black. I'm not in mourning. This was my wife's idea. She said, "Oh, I think you should wear black because it's slimming." Clearly, just another lie. She's told me because I have been trying to lose weight, and I went to the doctor last week and I said, "Look, I'm a little bit worried because I've been doing like 12,000 steps a day. I've been watching my calories, but I'm still not losing weight. Could it be water retention? And she said, well, only if you've eaten a water butt. Which I thought was a little bit harsh. And she suggested, she said, have you tried Slimming World? I said, well, no, I haven't, but I'll give it a go. So I went along to my local Slimming World, and I don't know if, has anybody been to Slimming World? No. Have you? It's a public humiliation, basically. That's what it is. I walked in, and the first thing I got, like, there was like rows of women, predominantly women, I have to say, loads of women queued up behind one another, and I heard one of them say, oh, it's obvious whilst he's here. I thought, oh, that's not the night. And I wasn't the only new person. There was another couple of ladies, and we were just chatting, and this lady said, I know you, don't I? And I was looking at her, well, I don't think so. And then she said those words that no man wants to hear. You don't remember me, do you? And I'm looking at her thinking, oh God, tell me I haven't. And in my stupid man brain, I'm trying to troll through all the one night stands I've ever had. And obviously looking like this, it didn't take very long. But then I got called into the line to queue up, and the lady said, just go and wait in the line, and you'll get to the end, and then they'll tell you what to do. And I was in this line waiting, and this woman in front of me started crying. I said, you alright? She said, I've really tried hard this week. I said, okay, no need to get upset. I said, what have you done? She said, I walked up the top of Robbinswood Hill twice and back down. I said, well, that's great, that's really good. That's really, really good. Yeah, but there's a chip shop at the bottom there. And I got to the end of the line, and they said, step on the scales. And I didn't know what was going to happen. They call out your weight. I was just stood on this, and there's these two thin, like, stick insects measuring you, and they've got, like, little badges on, like, Super Slimmer of the Month. And, like, I've lost 4 pounds in 2 weeks. And I just stood up, and they went, 14 stone, and there was an audible gasp from all these women behind me. I said, what happens now? They said, I'll just go and take a seat back over there. So I wandered back to take a seat, and the Slimming World thing was at our local primary school. And I looked down at these 2 little plastic chairs, and I thought, this ain't going to end well. And I sat down in the one, and then I got stuck in it. And then my newly found friend said, have you remembered where you know me from? I went, no, not really. She said, well, I used to temp for you back in the day in the 1980s when you were in recruitment. She said, you haven't changed. And I thought, well, I have, because since then I've put on the equivalent of 22 pounds of sugar. So clearly not only do you need to be here, but you should be going to Specsavers. Anyway, the woman counsellor, the counsellor came over and said, hi, my name's Chris, I'm your counsellor. I thought, I don't need counselling, I just need to stop eating. She said, right, I want you to, she said, I'm going to ask you a question. She said, just say the first thing that comes into your head. I said, okay. She said, right, out of anybody, she said, anybody in the world, whose body do you most admire? And I don't know where it came from, but I just said, Tom Daly. And my newfound friend was like, I never knew you were gay. I said, I've not been back. I've got to be honest, I've not been back. So it's just me and this gentleman here from Gloucester, and I'm Gloucester born and bred. And I'm proud to be from Gloucester, but so when you gig around the country, people, you know, you say you're from Gloucester, and there is like this impression that we're not particularly nice city, but we're up and coming. You know, we've had the cathedral used for film sets for Harry Potter. We've had the docks, but we can't compete with the Forest of Dean and Puzzle Wood being used for the Star Wars film. I mean, what a fantastic coup that was. And I don't know if you know this, but when they made that remake of the Star Wars film, they wanted to recreate that famous scene in the first Star Wars film, where our heroes walk into a bar and it's full of people with 2 heads, 8 fingers on one hand. And to be honest, if they'd gone into any pub in Colford on a Saturday night, they would have found those people. But I was really disappointed when the Citizen started publishing stories, because there was a post in one of the last Citizen papers about the man in Cinderford being accused of having sex with a wild boar whilst under the influence of alcohol. And I thought, how much alcohol would a wild boar need to have sex with a man from Cinderford? But the main thing about Gloucester, when you say it from Gloucester, you'll get the usual. You get, oh yeah, Gloucester, oh yeah, you've got a rugby side, you've got a cathedral. Fred West, that's inevitable. You always get that. But the one I like is cheese rolling, because some people are aware of it, and I've never done the cheese roll, but I'm going to do it next year. I've been practicing. I've been rolling a baby bell down my drive. That's going well. And the cheese roll was banned for quite a while, but for safety reasons. And when it was reintroduced a few years back, BBC South West came to film it. And one of the winners of one of the races was a 15-year-old girl from Brockworth called Kylie. And they interviewed her and they said, Kylie, you've entered the race, you've won. Is there anything you'd like to say? And she said, well, yeah, I did enter the race, and I know I won, and I was very surprised. And they said, why were you surprised, Kylie? And I thought, oh, Kylie, just say something profound. You've got probably millions of people watching this. Say something that's going to put Gloucester on the map. Say something like, well, look at me, I'm 15, from Brockworth. I left school when I was 13. I've already got 6 kids by 10 different dads. Everybody gave up on me, my friends, my school teachers, my family. They said I'd never amount to nothing. And I thought, do you know what? This is your turn to shine. And I trained really, really hard. I was down the gym, I was running, I was doing weight, I was just doing everything. And I got to the top of that hill, and I looked down, and they let the cheese go, and I was so focused on that cheese, I just blotted everything else out. I thought, Kylie, this is your chance to shine. And I chased after that cheese. I didn't care there was anyone else, and I chased after it, and I won it. That's what I wanted her to say to the question, why were you surprised? What actually came out of Kylie's mouth was simply this: I don't even like cheese. Can't write it, can you? So, listen, I think we're just about ready for your first act of the evening. My wife was going to come tonight, but I asked her what she wanted for Black Friday, and she said Idris Elba, so I wasn't able to bring Idris Elba for her, and I wasn't able to bring Idris Elba here tonight. I know, it is a shame, but what I have managed to get is somebody who I think is equally as attractive, probably more talented, and I love him, and I think you're going to love him too. So please give it up for the one, the only, Lavelle Smith.
Wow, what an introduction. I usually get told about Anthony Joshua, but I'll take that. Idris, I'll take that.